This is the FFR Trading Market Minute, and again, the daily candlestick chart of the S&P 500 or the SPY, the ETF for the S&P 500 here. So last week we were kind of sitting right here. We had this target right above that we hit basically on Friday, and the final target we had above that was this gap fill back from this prior day. Again, those are really attractors. They act like a magnet, pulls that market right up. So we hit that and filled that gap this morning with a little gap up. That is now, the gap has kind of come and filled this little daily gap between these two here. So what should we expect now? Well, we're not too far from all-time high. So that is also going to be a big attractor. But we've hit that gap fill target. The tendency is about 80% of the time, once that gap fills, is you get a move away. Right, so we're starting to see some selling. We'll see if it goes beyond just today's little gap fill. But the other thing I wanted to point out is you see as the market's been moving higher here, we've gotten a drop in volume. And also you notice that we had a higher high in price, right, between this is Monday and where we are here on Thursday. The market is making higher highs here, but you see the oscillator is making a lower high at this point. Right, so also if we look at the monthly chart, I'm just going to pull up the monthly chart here. We still have, now this is pretty crazy. If you look at this, look at the candle, look at the wick on this candle here, this monthly candle, where the market had kind of almost a flash crash down into that support, and then is rebounded the way it has here in that short period. Having said that, again, we've got a much higher high in price. So the oscillator was overbought at this point on this day, or on this month, I should say. We've made a higher high, but you can see the oscillator is not quite reached that level. We've got a lower high at this point in the oscillator. So there is some divergence here still on the monthly chart, despite the huge rally in price here. So that will be something to watch. So back to the daily chart. We are absolutely due for some type of pullback here. And typically the pullback, we got a gap below the market here, right? That is a target to the downside. Again, about 80% of the time these gaps will fill. Question obviously is when. And you also have the 20-period moving average, which will act as support here. So a couple of targets to the downside here. That would at least be a nice healthy pullback after the monstrous rally that we've had. On the other hand, it will be tempting. We're so close to all-time highs in the S&P. It's not too far away here. They may go for that. What I would expect to happen on the upside is they will break the high, extend that a little bit before we get some corrective action. Right? So maybe we're getting some corrective action today. Maybe this is going to be the start of a pullback, maybe to fill the gap back down here or get back to that moving average, or at least kind of slow things up where market kind of goes sideways here. Got a big earnings announcement at the end of the month. That'll be NVIDIA. That might have a big impact on how this all plays out. So keep an eye on that. Economic data set for next week. Not a whole lot, but a big one. Gross domestic product at 8:30 on Thursday, and Friday 8:30 core PCE. Hope that helps. Have a great rest of your trading week. We'll see you back next week in the FFR Trading Market Minute.